Thank you so much for this opportunity. My first question, obviously, is was there a change in terms of strategy for PFL? Because since Jake Paul, you've had two other big signings with Cedric Doumbé and Francis Ngannou. So, was there any change? What happened exactly? Because it seems that you have, let's say, unlocked some new ambitions.
No change in plans other than, we're continuing building, the PFL into a global leader tied to our vision. So signing Francis Ngannou, the biggest MMA signing in history of the sport. And it coincides with the PFL developing to launch our pay-per-view super fights division. So, Francis will be main anchor in that division, as will Jake Paul and other top MMA talent that will be coming to the PFL and competing in our pay-per-view division. More to come there.
And when did you start the discussion, the talks with Francis Ngannou? I'm speaking with Francis on a monthly basis, and it seems that it was a done deal for quite some time.
Well, we have a long-standing relationship, Francis and I, and fan of Francis, and like many, following his career. So us coming together when he became a free agent, it was a natural fit, and it really started with a shared vision. Francis believes in the vision of the PFL, our global vision to advance and grow the sport, provide fighters, pro fighters at different stages of their career in all parts of the world, the opportunity to compete on major media platforms against top competition, and the opportunity to become champions and create a system and a structure for the sport that doesn't exist today. Francis, believes in that. And so not only will he continue his career in MMA as an elite athlete with the PFL exclusively in a multi-fight deal, long-term deal, but Francis is also going to play a role, a leadership role, launch PFL Africa, he's also part owner, and to truly develop the next generation of athletes coming from the continent. So it's very exciting, multifaceted deal.
And do you have any date in mind for the start of PFL Africa and for the first event?
Yeah, we will launch PFL Africa in 2025. We have successfully launched PFL Europe earlier this year. In the next 2-3 months, we'll be announcing our second international regional league that will launch in terms of competition in 2024. And PFL Africa will officially launch the competition in 2025.
Will Francis...
And we'll have 3 additional international leagues set in different regions of the world in the next 2 years. So we're working on establishing and launching 6 international regional leagues.
Regarding Francis, what's great is that you have plenty of time until you find the right opponent for him, because he should fight at PFL MMA in 2024. And will Francis fight a guy already signed by PFL, or are you still looking for the perfect opponent for him?
Yeah, I mean, more to come on that. But what I could tell you is, the very top talent, free agents, when they come into the market, will be engaged. And there's a lot of interest in the PFL, all of our divisions.
Since Francis' signature, I imagine that there's a lot of fighters that wants to be part of PFL right now.
Yeah, no, of course. Francis is a beacon, and it just illustrates that PFL is truly a global leader and a major platform for the best fighters in the world. Francis, as you know, is not shy about sharing his ambitions and who he wants to take on. So, more to come on those details.
And regarding Cedric Doumbé, because that signature was super big in France. When did Cedric exactly sign with PFL? Because he's supposed to fight June 23.
He officially signed approximately 2 weeks ago. And we're very excited, about Cedric. An exciting fighter, obviously, champion caliber fighter from kickboxing. He started to get on a run in MMA. It's very exciting to watch. He's passionate. He's got, great capability. Getting Cedric into our league season was a huge get for the PFL. And it's also should illustrate our commitment to, signing the best European fighters, not only in PFL Europe, but within our global season platform, and in addition, the demand that there is in France. A demand among fighters. Great quality fighters, as you know, coming out of France, and so we're excited to sign more French fighters like Cedric. In addition to staging events in France in September, we'll have our PFL Europe playoffs in Paris. So, more to come.
And so it's June 23 for Cedric's first fight at PFL. Any plans to have him fight also at PFL Paris on September 30?
Well, at the moment he's in the season. So, more details to come when fans in France will get to experience Cedric and the PFL live tied to an event in the market. More to come. When
you talked about the season, so it's season this season or the season of next year?
He's got a shot in the 2023 season.
And so regarding the signature of Cedric, the signature of Francis Ngannou, could it be a possibility in the future that those two guys fight in France under the PFL banner?
Yeah, we'd certainly like to make that happen.
Okay.
And, we're in the planning stages as we speak.
Can you also talk to me about the signature of Jake Paul? How did that happen exactly? Because that made, let's say, that was a huge buzz when that happened. And for you, was it also a super huge step to making the signature of Francis Ngannou a real thing?
Jake Paul was another massive signing at the start of the year. We're excited to be partners with Jake. He also stands for fighter advocacy. He's an amazing talent, taking on boxing, obviously, and has a massive platform and a unique voice. So it's another strategic partnership we created, with an athlete. And Jake will make his MMA debut in 2024 with the PFL in the cage.
It seems that at this precise moment you're gaining momentum compared to the UFC. For you, what makes athletes prefer to sign with you rather than staying or signing with the UFC?
Well, I think it really goes down to our vision to advance and grow the sport. Number one, our brand, what we stand for. We have a fighters first culture, and fighters understand that, and there's mutual respect. And we provide fighters top competition and major stage globally to compete on, and an opportunity to not only become champion but earn more money. Okay. And it's an exciting time in the sport. We're professionalizing it. We're bringing structure to it. More to come.
We talked about that on our podcast because we were like, it's great that you're an organization that's putting the fighters at first, that making them earn more money. But on the athlete side, it seems that it's super great. But on your organizational side and the relationship that you have maybe with the investors, how do you make them, let's say, understand that you're putting the fighters ahead and that's your number one priority compared to other MMA leagues?
We're sharing more revenue with fighters. And, we believe to advance and grow the sport, support the fighters, and to continue to professionalize the sport, that's the right thing to do. And
do you think that it could change the sports globally? Your approach could change the sports globally?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
When will be your next PPV event for PFL season?
Next pay-per-view event.
Exactly.
We're going to in 2024.
Okay.
Early 2024.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So cool. I think that's it for me. Peter, thank you so much. And thank you, Abi, for organizing this interview.
Thank you for covering the sport, the PFL and the Francis story.
Thank you so much, guys.